Well, it's the 1st of May and we thought it's a perfect time for a Shellabear's property market update to go over March and April. Quite two intense months of great change in the way we all do business and in the way we all live. Fortunately for us and a lot of other companies, we had made a lot of digital transformations that allow you, our clients, to either sell your properties or to buy properties in the marketplace. We are now sitting on the cusp of the first weekend where home opens are going to be permitted again. And certainly we will be opening those homes that we believe are safe for you, our clients, to come and visit. And again, the normal protocols apply. But we thought it'd be really interesting to look at the market this time last year in 2019 and the market in 2020. And what's interesting is that the number of sales in our market last March was lower than the number of sales in our month of March in 2020. And March was a very hectic month in 2020 with COVID in full swing. We put this down to a lot of people seeking a roof over their head, bringing forward decisions, and for security and safety for their families, purchasing a home. We then look at April, and the sales in April last year really got up ahead of steam, and that was a lot to do with the election result, and we found that sales more than doubled in that month. Whereas this year, in 2020, we find that sales are about 40% of the level last year for April, but it was really starting to move ahead. So year on year, we see that caution coming into the market in April. We also see the number of listings declining. And this is a really important factor. A lot of you want to go out and perhaps look at buying something, but you need to understand that there may not be the choice because a lot of people are electing to pull their properties. Now, we've had about 30% of our properties in the pipeline that have been pulled from the market and haven't actually got to the marketplace. So there is going to be this restriction in supply, and it's very like what happened in the GFC in 2009, but there are some very big differences. When we look at the market then as opposed to the market now, what we're encouraged by in terms of our state economy is the gold prices, iron ore prices holding up. We've got a very good agricultural sector that's been performing well, and should we get the rains forecast in May, I think we're going to get a start to another really good season. We've just had an announcement today that Austal Shipbuilding has won a big federal government contract, and I think this is what we're seeing in the wider economy. The federal government has stepped up very quickly. The job seeker program, the money going into businesses, the negotiations taking place on commercial rents, and really helping people a lot to stay employed, find new jobs, but get through this winter of 2020. There are some quite good signs that we're seeing out there. Because of this support, people are encouraged to at least keep looking, and there are people that are still going to change because they need a smaller property or a larger property, or they have come back into Perth and they need to find a place for their family. The lifestyle purchases, the investment purchases are certainly going to be a little less a part of our property transaction agenda, but we're quite encouraged with the figures that we're seeing. So when you look at the market insights for an area like Cottesloe, what we're seeing in Cottesloe is there is a very high correlation of people from out of the area looking at Cottesloe. And what this tells us is that those buyers that I was talking about that are coming into the market looking to secure a home for their family are very much high on the agenda here. They're moving back from the eastern states, Europe, the UK, the Asian countries, and also the USA. So we have seen a lot of those people, a lot of them returning home, and this is also what we saw in 2009. So what is the total picture for Western Australia? We see new listings down 40%. We see the average views that people and the time people are spending on the internet or any device or their phone looking at property, that's actually up 26%. And the average inquiries, whilst that has slipped down 25%, the quality of those inquiries that lead to an inspection is very high. One of our reps at Shellabears is running about a 1 in 3 conversion ratio. So that means every 3 viewings of a property is leading to a contract on the property. So that is extraordinarily high, but I think that's an effect of these times. So in Cottesloe, we see a lot of people from outside looking in, and again, these are people that are coming home. We see the number of people that are checking into the listings is up 10%, and the engagement is also up 7%. So that is in fact a good lead indicator leading into what's normally a quiet time of the year, and let's not forget that either. There are seasonal things at play here. But we are very encouraged by the sales results that we've got. So what we see, the sales results for March and for April, Shellabears has sold 50% of all the completed sales in Cottesloe, 50% of the completed sales in Peppermint Grove, and 30% of the completed sales in Claremont. So we know that we've got the right digital strategies that are setting our clients up to sell their properties. We also know that we are providing the right environment and the right material online for buyers to engage with us easily in this environment. So with our 3D imaging, the videos which we've always done on our properties and has been a point of difference, with being able to use DocuSign and FaceTime, Zoom interviews between people, FaceTime inspections, Facebook live crosses through our properties, and Facebook virtual inspections. So there's been many ways that our clients have been able to engage with us. And we've had some good sales stories. A property that we launched in Cottesloe was on the market for only 3 days before it went under contract after 3 offers. And that was at a good price. We've not seen property prices slipping per se, but we also see people that are offering on, some of them offering very aggressively, but there is enough interest in the marketplace for another 1 or 2 people to engage, and then the property will transact at a decent price. So this 2-month period of extreme anxiety and extreme change has actually been quite encouraging. This weekend we're out opening homes again, so it's no surprise that we've seen the biggest day for new listings in the last 2 months yesterday, with a lot of properties launched. It still puts us behind the amount of listings that we had at the same time last year, so that volume of listings, the choice that you'll have out there, is still going to be a little restricted. But we look forward with a lot of confidence to the next 2 months, which are also the quietest months of the year. However, going into spring is going to be a wonderful time and a wonderful test of our resilience. The one thing we are very sure of is that we live in a wonderful place in Western Australia. Everybody has really looked after everybody else, and with our social distancing and being at the end of the earth as far as everybody else is concerned, What we do know now is this is one of the best places to live and to buy your next home. So come down and see us at Shellabear's. We've got great strategies, we're here to look after you, and we're here to get on with business.